Solo She Goes, not about living solo, but about living solely responsible for what happens next. Let's do this.
Hi, and welcome back to Solo She Goes. In this episode, we're going to talk about 3 things you must get rid of right now. That's it. 3 things you must get rid of right now. Just to recap, last week we finished on finances. I know that was 3 hard weeks, but it's so important that we really get a handle on that. Today I want to talk about 3 things you must get rid of right now. And I want to talk a little bit about momentum. So here we are, we've had our first few chilly days in the fall, and it got me thinking that it's a perfect time to start thinking about reflecting on our great summer, reflecting on all the fun things we did, but also to think about the things that we never used all summer. So we've come through a season, and there's 3 things that I think we can easily get rid of right now. So let's start with the first one, clothes. When you look back over the summer and you look at all of your summer clothes, this is a perfect time to take the season change as some momentum building and look at all the things you never wore, those great summer dresses, those sandals, all those things that maybe just don't fit in your life anymore, or they don't physically fit, or they're out of style. So don't pack them away just to be used next summer. Get rid of them. Give them away. Bless somebody else with them. Really critically look at all the things that you didn't wear this summer. So that's number 1, is getting rid of all the summer clothes that you didn't wear. And if you didn't wear them at all this summer and it was a fairly standard summer, you're probably not going to wear them next summer. So get rid of them. Number 2, the second thing that you need to get rid of right now, again, as we change the season, is looking at some of your kitchenware, plates, bowls, all of those great things we buy for the platters, pretty summer glasses. Are we actually using them, or are they just taking up space? So it's also a good time to look at all of those extra things that we buy thinking, oh, I'm going to have that great barbecue and I'm going to need all of these wonderful colored plastic glasses. And do we actually really need them, or did we actually use them? If you did, awesome. Pack them away, use them next year. But if you didn't, I encourage you, again, free up that space. So again, using the season change as a momentum, as a time to really look at everything and go, I didn't use any of that this year. It can probably go. So that's number 2, is all of those little kitchen accessories, platters, bowls, glasses, things that you thought you might keep for camping or for big barbecues, but in the end you didn't actually need them. So that's number 2. Number 3 is all of the seasonal sporting goods and camping gear and entertainment things, again, that you'd never used. I have a beautiful umbrella that goes over top of my patio table, but it's always felt a little bit too big for the table, so I didn't even get it out this summer. Why am I keeping it? All of that camping gear that you think, okay, sure, this summer we're gonna go camping, and maybe you're just not camping anymore. So get rid of that stuff. Give it away, bless it, sell it, put it on Kijiji or whatever your local buy and sell is. And there's a great time to really go through and get rid of it. Bicycles, that's a hard one. Every time I look at getting rid of a bike, it's like, well, I can't get rid of my bike. I haven't been on my bike in years. Why am I still keeping it? So it's a little bit of letting go of this romantic notion of, I'm going to jump on my bike and ride to the market. Well, the reality is I have my dog with me all the time, and I'm not going to ride through the city with my dog. And I'm just probably not going to ride my bike anymore. If I want to go away on a bike trip, I'm probably going to rent a bike or borrow one. I don't need to keep it. Camping gear. So much camping gear that I may never use. So all I'm saying is use the seasonal changes as a time to look at things that you didn't use this past spring and summer. Now as we move into fall, you'll start to pull out those favorite sweaters. As you pull out your winter things, look at them. Are they still fashionable? Do they still fit? Are they still in good condition? Will you be wearing them this winter? Or is now a really good time to, again, bless somebody else, sell them? Winter sporting gear that you never used last winter, you're going to pull it out again this winter. Maybe it's time to just free up some space and get rid of it. So this week, nice and simple. We've had some heavy weeks talking about financing. This week is just all simple, back to downsizing and decluttering, and how to get rid of those 3 simple things. We had a live event last night, some really interesting things came up about decluttering and how to get rid of certain things. We had talked about trophies, how to get rid of, or what to do with all of your high school trophies, or maybe you've got some trophies from your spouse or family members, and what to do with them. And one of the interesting things that came up was to take all of the plaques, all of the named engraved plaques off all of the trophies and put them in a picture frame. And so you could put that picture on the wall. The trophies themselves can be donated, or sometimes they end up just being thrown out because nobody wants them. The other thing that came up was sentimental things like a collection of things. The one example was a collection of salt and pepper shakers that had been collected from all over the world, from friends and family and personal travels, and what to do with those. It doesn't take up a lot of space, so what's the point of getting rid of it? The idea was, again, that connection with the stuff. And is it actually the salt and pepper shakers that are just living in a box in the attic that are meaningful, or was it the trip or the friend that gave them to you that was meaningful? And if that's the case, then the actual physical thing that is sitting in a box, it's not like it's out and you're enjoying it and using it every day, maybe you could let go of that. And that is always the tough thing with personal or sentimental things, is they represent a connection to something or to an event, to an adventure, to a time in your life. And the challenge is letting that go. This whole process is not about getting rid of your stuff. It's about critically looking at your connection with the stuff, and so that the actual physical things don't hold the memory anymore, but your memory is what's important, and that you can go forward and you can let go of some of these physical things that are holding you back. So getting rid of sentimental things and collections of things is difficult. One of our viewers suggested that she put the box of collections in her car and drive around with it for a few weeks and decide if she was ready to let go of it. And it became easier and easier because then it just became a box of things. And when you're not having things out and using them every day, it gets easier when you really look at it and just that it is just some physical things that you could probably free yourself up from. So although we're circling back now on more downsizing and decluttering, I don't want to forget about the finances, because that really does lay the groundwork for and the foundation for what's next, which is what this is all about, is what's next. Again, reiterating the fact that it's not about living without things, it's about our connection with things. That can be so liberating if we can really get a handle on that. So keep watching your finances, keep watching your budget, and keep auditing yourself as you collect things, as you look at things in your home. Ask yourself, do I really need to have this with me on a regular basis? Again, I come back to that question I asked online a few weeks ago. If I were to give you $1 million and 2 hours, and you had only enough time to take all of your worldly possessions, the things that you absolutely couldn't live without, would that particular thing that you're considering, would it make the cut? Would it go with you? And I think probably 90% of the things that we have that surround us probably would not make the cut. If it doesn't bring joy to your life, if it's not beautiful, if it's not functional, if it's not of investment quality, then you probably can do without it. So this week, nice and easy, take a critical look at your summer things, spring and summer things, get ready for the fall and the winter, start to be a little bit more critical with your collections of things, and we'll talk next week about house sitting and work away. I'll see you then.